Wait a minute, what happened? Wait, what happened? What happened with 7th and Zephyrnix and everybody? Why is it on private? I gotta see what's going on here. Someone keeps talking about something delicious.
Hey guys, 7th here. Now, you guys have heard me refer to myself in the past as the fucking troll king. Today, you find out why. There's been a lot of drama going on in the last couple of days, and I initially got pulled into it rather by accident, but once I got a feeling for what was really going on, I couldn't pass up the chance to just really rake a fraud over the coals. This is a game that I like to call Expose the Fake. I hope you enjoy. The following is a timeline of the events that has taken place over the past several days. Step 1 in exposing a fake. Huntmaster Flex sends me a video purportedly showing proof that MVP is a false flagger. The vid shows a screen cap of a counterclaim notice from Zephyrnix showing MVP as the one who flagged him. Okay? Step 2. Zephyrnix hops into a Skype chat with me, Hump, Black Bond, BlackBusterCritic, Shokyo, Blacktooth Grin, some 13-year-old kid who likes hockey, and some limey who sounds like Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation, talking about how he has MVP by the balls. I'm instantly skeptical about this because, MVP True has been showing a lot of sensitivity lately since burying his channel in drama vids and trying to keep up his subs and views to make partner and supplementing his income with 2 days work a week and running a purple drink stand in his mom's front yard. But I haven't seen anything that would indicate to me that he would stoop to false flag. But having a history of good relations with Zeph, I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I asked him to send me a copy of this email so I can look at it, as does Bond, Shokyo, and others. Step 3. Black Bond gets the email first and states immediately that he sees problems with it, and then kind of disappears to go back to trolling Hard 8, while the others simply copy and paste the username from the supposed email into their address bar, see that it goes to MVP's account, declare it legit, and don't really do a whole lot of further investigation than that. Shokyo dug a little bit deeper, but eventually he too said, yeah, it's legit. I pull the email up, and the first thing I notice is this. In the body of the second paragraph, there's a line there that reads, his channel will be suspended and his IP will be banned. Having dealt with YouTube for 3 years now on numerous false flaggers, I have never seen, even in handwritten emails from YouTube reps, a video owner referred to by their gender. It's always been the owner. Never he, never she, never his, never her. The owner. The owner's account. The owner's, that's how they do it. They never say he will be suspended, she will be suspended. They say the owner. So my bullshit.
Just a minute. I gotta make some popcorn. Da-da-da-da. I got popcorn and I got Cheerios.
Meter starts to tingle, but not quite enough yet for me to say for sure. Meanwhile, the limey and others are waiting for my verdict on the veracity of this email, as is Zephyrnix. I don't want to give anything away, so I sit for a few minutes so they think that I'm tinkering around with it or what have you, and then I say, it's legit, son, and I hear cheers. Let me repeat that. Some of the, not everybody, but some of the people, at least a couple, in this room cheered because I said it was a real email. Some of which are guys that have been loudly trashing others for taking YouTube too seriously. For the record, Black Bond and, oddly enough, Humpmaster were not among the ones celebrating MVP's supposed imminent demise. I tell them that I'm going to make a video exposing MVP as a false flagger. Again, they cheered. A while later, I don't
think I was in that one. I don't remember that.
Well then, you know what? Wait. There's some loopholes here. MVP could say that Zeph changed the name in the email when he forwarded it to me. So I'm going to hold off until I talk to Zeph first. A couple of them whine and bitch and complain about the fact that I haven't posted the video yet, but I tell them no, I'm going to get to the bottom of it first.
Yeah, I wasn't in this conversation.
So I go to Zeph and I tell him the same thing, and that he needs to get out his camera and film himself live, opening the email so everyone can see it's legit. His response is, yeah, you're right. Don't make your video yet. And, of course, he's saying this because he doesn't want me to make a video at all. And then he's quiet for a couple minutes, and he says, you know what, I'm kind of busy right now. I'll post it tomorrow. We agree I will wait till his video goes up first. I go offline for a few hours to get something to eat and chill out a bit. I come back, and they're all still in the same chat room. I mean, BlackBuster and Shokyo are gone, but everyone else is still in there, and they're kind of alternating between playing Battlefield 3 and making fun of MVP, or in Humpmaster's case, playing Total War, Shogun Total War, and yelling "exposed" at archers in the trees and making fun of MVP. They're still in there 4 hours later. 4 hours later. Think about that a minute. 4 hours. They'd already been in there for several hours at that point. 4 hours later, they're still in there. So I post the video, even though I said I wouldn't. I go ahead and I post it and tell them after the fact that, I've posted the video. And then I sit back and just watch to see how Zephyrnix reacts to it and how MVP reacts to it, thinking, this will give me the clue as to who is really full of shit here. Almost immediately, or as quickly as someone could possibly post a counter on YouTube, MVP posts a counter video discounting it all and adamantly confessing that he is innocent, that he did not flag anybody. Zephyrnix, on the other hand, instead of posting the video I asked him to make, he posts his little skit impersonating MVP. So I hit him up in a chat and I'm like, hey man, now why didn't you make the video that you agreed to make earlier? And he's like, I forgot. So I reiterate that he needs to post that video, and I tell him exactly how it should be filmed with a real camcorder, what to show, how to show it, and that it should take no more than 5 minutes to film it, and then at the most 20 minutes to process it and upload it. So we're talking 25 minutes it should take him to make this video. Meanwhile, I'm staying on MVP and his comments because I'm still not 100% convinced that he didn't do something, maybe with a sock account or something. Since he and I had always gotten along before, he's kind of pissed about the fact that I've taken a sudden quote-unquote heel turn towards him. But I figure it's worth it to figure out who's really fucking around here. So 2 hours later, Zephyrnix's video goes up. I want you to remember I said that. 2 hours later, Zephyrnix's video that I asked him to make goes up. And instead of filming it with a camcorder, like I told him to do, he's used a screen capture software instead, which I told him not to do. And I immediately notice a shitload of flaws with it, including that the number of emails in his deleted items box keeps going up and down. There's misspellings and incorrect grammar everywhere. There's flashing cursors where there shouldn't be one. His mouse cursor is hidden. There's a security lock graphic on the browser that's wrong. His tabs and his taskbars are missing. My bullshitometer goes into overdrive. Still, I decide not to say anything to him just yet, so I play along. I go into the comments where others have seen what I saw, and I not only post a lot of techno-babble bullshit about cookies and cache and, basically explaining away all these little things that I know good and well doesn't explain away anything, that these are factual errors in the email. But I also explain in great detail how Zephyrnix likely really did fake that video. Then I flat out lie and say, well, he couldn't have possibly done it because, yes, this is exactly how you can do it, but it would have taken him a lot longer than 25 minutes to do that, and his video went live 25 minutes after I asked him to. This is not true. It went live 2 hours after I asked him to. And I did that because I wanted him to see me lie about it and maybe start to get a little bit nervous about what my motivations were and start to fuck up and make mistakes. At the same time, think about that for a second. I told him to go make a video, and he worked on a video for 2 damn hours, making the video to protect his e-cred on YouTube. I want you to jump. Yes, sir. How high? Exposed. Step 5. Zephyrnix posts another video supposedly explaining to MVP how wrong he is because he doesn't know computers, while I continue to troll MVP, seeing if he might slip up and reveal something that would sway me one way or the other. You know what? He never does. Not once. He stays right there in the middle on a straight line. No, I did not flag shit. He does do it in a sort of paranoid, you're all out to get me conspiracy theory kind of way, but he stays on that narrow path. No, I didn't do shit. The only suspect thing he does is he replies to me and replies to himself and others in his own video with his Chris Demand sock account. Well, It could be Hard 8 using the sock account, but judging by the wording, I just suspect that really it's Krista Mann is MVP. They're one and the same. It's a sock, which is just, that's kind of tinfoil hat behavior, if you ask me. That did kind of make me think, well, if he hasn't done anything, why is he trying so hard to back himself up with a sock? But that alone was not enough to prove that he'd actually flagged anything. It's just, weird to me. And he also accuses Gamer Reviews of manipulating comment votes in his videos to make Gamer Reviews comments always be higher than MVP's, which has nothing to do with this really, but I thought I'd point it out because it kind of shows how MVP's been getting paranoid and nervous about what other people do around him, taking shit to heart in almost a crazy version of the truth setting you free conspiracy theory kind of way. It has nothing to do with this, but it just kind of shows you that, there's a little bit going on there that's, needs to be addressed. But anyway, step 6. I tell Zeph again that he needs to post the vid that I told him to post. He responds by taking both his vids down and proposing his WrestleMania idea instead, and tells me that YouTube asked him to take those 2 videos down. So I go, knowing that that's bullshit,
that is
and I post a comment in MVP's vid, still playing along, and I make up this whole bullshit response that YouTube has a thing where they don't like for their IP ban policy to be made public record in videos. This is complete fabrication. YouTube could not give a fucking shit. I've posted stuff like that before in videos. Others have done the same thing. It's not true. It's a complete lie that I made up, intending for Zephyrnix to see it and think that I'd actually contacted YouTube to confirm the fact that YouTube had taken his 2 videos down, and that he just happened to luck out with conveniently with this YouTube policy that goes in along with his lie. Then all of a sudden, Slobule the Geek posts a video saying, Zephyr should just file the counterclaim and be done with it. This gives me an idea. So I decide to trap them both in a logic loop. Now, a logic loop is where you put a person into a train of thought where they either have to do what you say or they back out, which exposes them to cowardice and guilt. They get trapped in this line of thought where they either have to move in the direction that you want them to move or they have to back away and expose themselves. I challenge both Zephyrnix and MVP. I tell Zephyrnix, you need to go ahead and file that counterclaim. And I tell MVP, you need to post a video demanding that Zephyrnix go ahead and file that counterclaim. Because if you didn't flag his video, then nothing will happen to your account and he will be exposed as a fraud. It's a win-win situation for you. I go over to Zephyrnix and I say, you need to file that counterclaim, because if he did file that, if he did flag your video, his account will go down and you will be exonerated. If he didn't, then the person who did, their account will go down, you'll get your video back, MVP will still have his stuff. It's a win-win situation for you. So I'm feeding them both the same thing to see which one reacts, because I know the one that says, hey, you're right, let's just go ahead and get it over with, let's see who the liar is going to be the person telling the truth. This is real King Solomon type shit. And otherwise, the person that is guilty is going to sidestep and back away, etc., etc. But you know what? Both of them initially brushed me off. Zephyrnix says, well, I'm not really the flagging type. I don't really believe in revenge and that kind of thing, and blah, blah, blah. MVP just gets really further pissed off and paranoid and throws some more tinfoil hattery at me. Zephyrnix gets quiet for a bit, so I text him talking again about the supposed IP ban not being shown in vids policy that I made up off the top of my head, thinking that if for some reason I'm wrong about him, he'll tell me, hey, that's not an actual policy. This is why YouTube told me to take those vids down. Instead, you know what he tells me? He says, yep, IP banned. They don't like that to be seen in videos. That's exactly why they told me to take them down. Bullshit. So I start hitting him again about counterclaiming that flag, while continue to do the same thing to MVP in his comment section. After a while, Zephyrnix kind of gets quiet, and then he comes out of nowhere and he says, why are you so adamant about me filing a counterclaim? And my bullshit-o-meter overloaded into a massive lulz explosion. I had it. I had him concrete. He had faked the whole fucking thing. So I posted comments in MVP's vid, dropping hints as to what I would be doing in my next video, and that my concern was knowing who the real fake was. And that rest assured, whoever it was, I was going to expose their fucking ass. Then I posted a comment directly to MVP, fully confident by then that he hadn't flagged shit, and I told him he would see something else from me soon. I then went back to Zephyrnix, and I explained to him in great detail what I'd been doing to him from the very moment that I joined that Skype and that video had been sent to me, and why. And that I knew and really had known almost, not completely, but almost from the beginning, that he had faked the whole fucking thing. Not another comment from him was posted in that chat window. He immediately invited me into a private voice chat. He then proceeded to talk for over an hour, explaining about how when his video had gone down, he felt it was MVP. He couldn't prove it. He thought it was maybe even doing it with a sock account. He just felt it was MVP. So he made up this fake email, this initial thing, his initial video, this initial fake email, thinking that it would make MVP nervous and some of the guilt would show, or he'd screw up and expose himself in some way. But what he didn't expect was for other people in the community in that Skype to jump all over it like hungry sharks smelling MVP blood, which kind of painted him into a corner. Because by that point, not only did he have to prove that he had this email to MVP and his viewers, but now he had to prove it to these guys, right? Then he gets a message from me asking to see it, and he knew he was in deep shit because I do the same thing for a living that he does, and I can smell tech bullshit from a mile away. So he goes on and explains exactly how he made that second video that I'd asked him to make, and it was exactly how I'd said in the comments that he had made the video. You know, basically graphic manipulation and trying to recreate the illusion of swapping back and forth between windows and what have you. And so then, this morning, MVP posted the video that I told him to post, demanding that Zephyrnix make a vid filing a counterclaim, and then, you know, of course, I had double lulls because not only had I trolled Zephyrnix into digging his own grave and exposing himself, but I had also kind of made MVP dance for me a bit by making the vid that I told him to make, even though by then I had been pretty much sure that he hadn't really done anything wrong. And yes, that paints me as an asshole, but, you guys know what I am. By now, you know. I'm an equal opportunity troll. I get my lulls wherever I find them. Bottom line, here's the situation that all of you that were involved in this now find yourself in. Zeffy faked an email, and when I got involved, made numerous videos trying to keep me in the dark about it because he knew that, with the exception of maybe Black Bond, that there was no one else that was going to be able to sniff his bullshit faster than me. Zeffy, I like you. You're a cool guy. You have horrible taste in white women, but you're a cool guy. This time around, though, man, you're a fraud. You faked this shit. You know you did. And I told you I was going to do this, and yeah, you asked me to wait a few days so you could get one more video in on MVP, but I'm not going to wait, sir. My lulls take precedence. You are a fraud. Exposed. MVP. I told you, as I said in the fake video that I'm going to take down now that you have seen exactly what my involvement in this was, that you were starting to take this shit to heart a little bit too much. And I want you to learn a lesson from what I've explained here. You had a group of guys here, black and white, big channels and small, high views, low views, big subs, no subs, talking for hours on end on Skype about another man on the internet after having railed on others about taking other men on the internet too seriously, some of which cheered in excitement at the thought of me making a vid calling you out as a false flagger. Out of all of them, the only one who ever questioned why I was in there, what I was doing, and why was Black Bond, who has repeatedly pointed out in the past that the only time 7th ever shows up in Skype is when some shit's about to hit the fan. What I want from you, MVP, is to look at this and ask yourself if posting 3 and 4 counter drama vids a day is really helping you. I mean, sure, in the short term, you get some subs, you get some views, but is that the type of channel you intended to have when you first joined the community?
Nope.
There has to be a balance. A drama vid every now and then, that keeps the community lively, but in the end, it has shit all to do with the obsession that supposedly brought us all here in the first place, that being video games. So, Having exposed a fucking fraud, trolled a Skype room full of serious trolls who are serious about not taking things seriously, and having hopefully made you think a little bit about a thing or three, I'm taking my own advice and I'm going to stay out of the drama for a while and just make some video game videos, because let's face it, this one's going to be a bit hard for me to top, son. Y'all have fun now. This is 7.
Bad for life, we bad, for life, we bad, yeah, you bad.
That was delicious. Oh man, that was good. 777. That was some mass destruction.